that long day behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk at the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk at the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk at the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk at the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to the tavern, everyone. I'm Travis Sivart, and my vices tonight are a really nice tin cup rye whiskey and water, and I may light a pipe. I haven't decided I'm going to light a pipe tonight. What about you, Ed? What's your vices?
Let's see. Tonight I am drinking Imperial Cider from Bold Rock.
Oh, nice.
Made right here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia.
Nice.
What about you, Andrea?
Oh, Andrea LeChat here. I have a few of my favorite things. I have my blankie, my tea, and my knitting.
Now, which blankie is that? That's not the one that Olive Garden sent us for our wedding, is it?
No, this is the one my friend sent me.
Aw, very nice. Yeah, and I'm loading a autumn evening tobacco into a blue Savinelli here, and this is a maple-based one. Andrea says, what do you say it smells like?
Breakfast. It smells like breakfast.
Ah, there you go. Okay, so let's raise our glass to our future overlords.
Yes, all of them.
Yeah, could be any one of them. They're lining up right now and filling the ballot. So there's a new field out there. This is an article from CNN that's labeled Move Over Artificial Intelligence. Scientists announce a new organoid intelligence field. So the summarization of this is a new field called organoid intelligence could be the basis for computers powered by human brain cells. Lab-grown brain organoids, nicknamed intelligence in a dish, are pen-dot-sized cell cultures that contain neurons capable of brain-like functions. Researchers announced Tuesday, in March, the very end of February, their plan eventually to use brain organoids to create energy-efficient biocomputers that rival today's supercomputers and may revolutionize, dying over you, pharmaceutical testing for diseases like Alzheimer's. But the biological hardware comes with a variety of ethical concerns, including whether organoids...
What if it becomes aware? So now is it another life form?
That's exactly one of the concerns, including whether organoids can achieve consciousness or sentience or feel pain. I know plenty of people who have brain cells who are not conscious, aware, sentient.
True. So
I think we're good.
Where did they get the donor cells from?
That's a great question, Andrea, and I'll scan the article here and see what I can find. Maria says,
Abby somebody.
Oh, speaking of Abby somebody, Abby Normal, Mel Brooks reference from Young Frankenstein. The new History of the World is out. History of the World Part 2.
Just save that to watch.
It's episodic as opposed to a movie, and there's 8 episodes and they're releasing 2 a day. So, Frosty said, just watched it. We watched the first one and we were entertained.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's so much about history I didn't know. You'll love it, Ed.
I hate to tell you this, you still don't know.
That's because the winners wrote it. Kraken says, loved Young Frankenstein, and Night Skeptic says, the donor of this obedient chap was this obedient chap named Hal.
Hal.
Nice reference there to 2001 Space Odyssey. So, computers powered by human brain cells may sound like science fiction, but some researchers in the U.S. believe such machines, part of a new field called organoid intelligence, could shape the future. Which, by the way, I mentioned this to Ed pre-show. If anybody watched Star Trek Voyager, that ship was powered. The systems that connected, different systems in the ship were like an organic brain gel. So this has been in science fiction before. They don't resemble teeny versions of the human brain. They're small cultures that have neurons, form multiple connections, intelligence in a dish.
Mm-mm. So you said it's gel?
Well, it sounds
so
like... Uh-huh.
So would the brand names like little scene be GELLO?
Yeah, how many of us are going to have our computer brains going, watch it wiggle, see it jiggle? And they're lab grown, they resemble organs, and the three-dimensional structures usually derived from stem cells, to answer the earlier question, have been used in labs for nearly 2 decades, where scientists have been able to avoid harmful human or animal testing by experimenting on stand-ins for kidneys, lungs, and other organs. So Dr. Thomas Hartung, a professor of environmental health and engineering at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School for Public Health and Whitting School for Engineering in Baltimore, that is a mouthful, began growing brain organoids by altering human skin samples in 2012. So they envision combining the power of the brain organoids into a type of biological hardware more efficient, energy efficient than supercomputers. These biocomputers would employ networks of brain organoids. So actually, I'm reading all this. They could test for diseases like Alzheimer's, get insight into the human brain, change the future of computing. So how are they going to use it for porn? Besides putting a penis in it. I'm just checking here because this is what porn advances so many different things. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It just did nothing but crickets now, right? Okay. So, while artificial intelligence is inspired by human thought processes, the technology can't fully replicate all capabilities of the human brain. The gap is why humans can use an image or text-based capability, or I lost my place. CAPTCHA. We can do CAPTCHA, which, oh, by the way, stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test, to tell computers and humans apart. That's what CAPTCHA stands for.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't even always tell you which squares have traffic lights.
I know. The older you get, the harder it is to see. How close can I lean to my computer to see if there's a boat in that picture?
And if it's just a corner, does that count? Does that square
Yeah, when they
count?
put one traffic light and it's in 6 different boxes, you're like, do I choose them all? Does that... Night Skeptic says Schrodinger's fetish kinks are always in superposition that both are and are not stimulating the pruent interest. That's well said. Okay, we got our own supercomputer and it's trolling us with words.
No.
So they go into a little bit about examples of supercomputers and how they can go faster and stronger and harder than humans.
Is that porn?
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
Sounds like it.
So there is Frontier, a $600 million supercomputer at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee, weighs 8,000 pounds, 3,600 kilograms, with each cabinet weighing the equivalent of 2 standard pickup trucks. The machine exceeded the computational capacity of a single human brain in June, but it used 1 million times more energy. So the brain is still unmatched by modern computers, says Hart. Yeah. But you got to look back in the 50s and 60s when we were first inventing computers, they were that big. Our home computers, or hell, our pocket calculators, now were the size of a couch. For a PC, like the barest definition of a PC, was the size of rooms, multiple rooms for one computer. So this is how we start. And we grow from there.
And this is where we're at now. Here's my calculator, computer, TV, all the things.
Mm-hmm. Skeptic says, being a writer is great. My girlfriend yells at me. I smile and tell her she's Usurient. She's too prideful to admit she doesn't know what that means, so she thinks it's a compliment. I'm no longer getting yelled at. See, I'm the guy. I'm like, yep, don't know what that means. You want to tell me, or am I Googling right now? Either one's okay, because I'm going to learn a new fucking word and put it in my next book. Let's see. Hardtongue says, brains also have an amazing capacity to store information. Estimated, this is interesting, 2,500 terabytes is what the human brain is estimated to be able to store. Shit, I can't ever remember where I put my shoes. Maybe I need to reboot. We're reaching the physical limits of silicon computers because we can't pack more transistors into a tiny chip. So let me scan the rest of this for more interesting stuff. Groundbreaking research, 2012 Nobel Prize. Oh, Maria needs to reboot. And he recalled being asked by other researchers whether brain organoids could think or achieve consciousness. Here's the question. Spurred him to consider feeding information to organoids about their environment and how to interact with it. This opens up, quote, this opens up research on how the human brain works, because you can start manipulating the system, doing things you cannot ethically do with human brains. So he defines organoid intelligence as reproducing cognitive functions such as learning and sensory processing in a lab-grown human brain model. There you go. Frosty says, all I'm getting is the brain eureka moment, meaning wowza. Yeah, you can't do that with human brains with that attitude, says Mike Skeptic. The brain organoids that Hardtongue currently uses would need to be scaled up for OI, or organoid intelligence. Each organoid has about the number of cells one would find in a fruit fly's nervous system. A single organoid is about 1/3 millionth the size of a human brain, which means it's equivalent to about 800 megabytes of memory storage. They're too small, each containing about 50,000 cells. For OI, we would need to increase this number to 10 million. Is anybody else getting flashbacks of Avengers 2 with Ultron?
I think Maria is. I mean, she's like, where does the line end? And like, I'm so against creating human-like beings.
I'm hardly
even earlier.
Go ahead.
And even earlier, she's like, has this guy ever watched any science fiction movies? It's not going to turn out well, you know. I'm with her.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they would also need ways to communicate with the organoids in order to send them information, receive readouts of what the organoids are thinking.
So, it's called organoid. What is it called?
Organoids.
So let's break down that word. I know what a noid is.
Yeah, why don't we just avoid the noids and move on?
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Come on, this would be great. And there's only like a couple more well, hold on. No, there's a lot more. Ways to use organoid. They could be developed from skin samples of patients with neural disorders, allowing scientists to test how different medicines and other factors could impact them.
There we go. Abby Normal again.
Mm-hmm. Could study cognitive aspects of neurological conditions as well. For example, compare memory formation in organoids derived from healthy people and from Alzheimer's patients. Try to repair relative defects can use them to test whether certain substances, such as pesticides, cause memory or learning problems. They want to compare brain organoids from typically developed donors versus brain donors with autism. So, I mean, it sounds like there's medical implications here. That could be very positive. But let's ask the right question. How do we weaponize it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once we figure out how to fix problems, can we then inject these to cause problems? Can we turn it into an aerosol spray to make everybody have Alzheimer's in a certain region?
Yeah.
See, Maria, I'm still scanning the article because Maria asked, do they have pain receptors? Because I feel like if you're growing human parts to help humans, to know they're going to react and such, they would have to be able to process pain. So, like, we're making things to torture it? Yeah.
But here's the thing, they don't, a lot of things that are made to help you medically and to help your health, they don't give a fuck if it hurts.
Yeah, there are a lot of videos out there of certain medical processes, and they're like, yeah, this person had such a minor thing, and they were given all these pain pills. I had this, and was given 2. And the scale of what I had done versus what they had done.
Or even things, it's just like, okay, we're going to do this. If you don't get any pain stuff or whatever, it's just deal with it. So they would probably do that with these things if they're experimenting. So why create like pain receptors?
But we've been experimenting
really
on animals since the dawn of time. They have pain receptors.
I know, but that's different. They weren't made to be tested on. They were here. These things were made.
What if we just tweak them to be masochists? Is that okay then?
Sure.
What if
great.
they're like, oh yeah, hit me again, daddy?
Oh, now they talk? Wait.
Well, it'd be a
wrong.
printout, like a ticker tape, I assume. Oh yes, hit me again, daddy.
Oh God.
It would sound like
Or what if we figure out how to program these, and then we go, oh, now we know how to program the human being without social media.
Yeah, social media's a bit loose on this. Yeah, animals are bred for testing, Kraken, but so would these. These would be engineered, as opposed to bred, tomato, for testing. It's not like we're like offering the homeless a couple meals and going, hold on while we dissect you. I mean, I'm not saying that hasn't happened somewhere in history, sometime in history, or even last week in Jersey. I don't know. Rhea says, I mean, every medical advancement is on the backs of torturing people and being hopeful they learn. Doesn't make it right, though. Yeah, I think that's a fair evaluation. One's a living animal that can survive on its own. So the ethics is what we're looking at here, and that's the part of the article that I'm up to now. So takes a number of ethical concerns and including whether they can develop consciousness or feel pain, and if those whose cells were used to make them have any rights, considering the organoids. I think by rights, I mean, do they get royalties? Do they get a breakthrough? You get a cut of the pie here.
Of course.
I'm just guessing. It doesn't say that, but it sounds like a reasonable concern of human beings. Maria says, ethically, I'm against it at this point, given the information provided during this podcast. So they want to... Key part of our vision is develop OI in an ethical and socially responsible manner. For this reason, we partnered with ethicists from the very beginning to establish an embedded ethics approach. All ethical issues will be continuously assessed. But, I mean, if it's something we created and it can help our species advance But then again, who's to say that neurodivergent brains aren't a better way to advance than what we call normal? Because, I mean, we've had a lot of creative and scientific geniuses. Why do we need to advance this, Maria? Okay, hot take. Why do we need to advance?
Yeah. My question. What she said, because why do we need to create something to advance us? Why not let nature do it itself if we are meant to survive?
But aren't we nature, so anything we're creating is natural?
Oh, that's bull cocky.
Let me let the cat out. You guys keep talking.
Now he runs.
Yeah, I think I agree. We don't need to advance us. We need to advance the other things. If we're meant to advance, yeah. Okay.
Oh, some good answers here. Night Skeptic says we need to advance because there are people who still think the Macarena is a good thing.
Well, maybe we just need to get rid of those people.
Okay, now that's now we get into cleansing. Kraken says because we overhunt and now we don't have any predators to help us evolve better, which is pretty fair.
Oh yeah, okay. We have us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But aren't they like trying to bring back the dinosaur?
No, just mammoths. We're working up to dinosaurs. Give it time. Don't be pushy. Silencia, and hello Silencia, good to see you, says nature created our bodies, but they're really not meant for long-term upright postures or for long-term sitting postures or for long-term anything. Maria says it's horrible that people die. It really is, but like if there's something out there, a disease or whatnot, taking people out, it's balancing us, and I agree with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maria says, if we take off the warning labels off products, I'm sure we will evolve as the stupid take themselves out.
Thank you.
Kraken says we can't have nature help us evolve if we don't have anything to control the population. Yeah, besides ourselves and diseases.
Yeah, but if we go into this type of research, and that's what the guy's trying to sell it on. It'll help us to fix this. It'll help us to fix that. It'll help us to fix the other. Should we continue to fix this, that, and the other when there's not enough room for us on this planet now?
Mm-hmm. Especially a longer life. Now, answering some of these questions, and again, keep in mind, I only have a news article. We don't have the person here to interview. But Julian Kinderlehrer, Professor Emeritus of Intellectual Property Law at the University of South Cape Town in South Africa, in a separately published policy outlook, not involved in the study, says we're entering a new world where the interface between humans and human construct blurs distinctions. Society cannot passively await new discoveries. It must be involved in identifying and resolving possible ethical dilemmas and assuring that any experimentation is within ethical boundaries yet to be determined. But ethics is totally a human construct. What was ethical 200 years ago is unthinkable now. Totally unthinkable.
Amen.
I mean, hell, fucking 30 years ago in some cases. It's... And I'm reading a little more of the article, see if I can get any more juicy tidbits as I come to the end of it. So, because they start talking about GPT, and I'm going to read one more quote, kind of long here, by Miller, who is Gary Miller, Dean for Research Strategy and Innovation, Professor of Environmental Health Sciences at Columbia University. Says brain organoid systems could exhibit key aspects of intelligence and sentience. This demands a robust examination of the ethical implications of technology, in which ethicists must be included, must ensure that each step of the process... Okay, so they're basically saying we have to have gatekeepers here to monitor, watchers for the watchers type thing. So I think we all agree with that. And besides the sci-fi terror stuff, there's great possibilities for good and bad here.
It'll be misused.
Oh yeah, we're human beings. We've misused everything, one way or another. I'm going to take a few comments here and read them off so we can catch up and discuss them. Maria says, why isn't the money from this research going to something to solve actual problems we have? I would say it is. We're looking at debilitating brain diseases that can be addressed and researched on a level that we can't do with human beings, such as Alzheimer's. Rachel says, y'all remember that time Tambura erupted and caused a mini ice age that killed off 50% of the population? Oh, good times, Rachel. Good times. Kraken says the entire nature cycle is a prey gets hunted by a predator, prey that survive due to their unique characteristics that will let those characteristics pass down, making the prey evolve. Then the predator population fall because they can't hunt as well, only the ones that can find newly evolved prey, letting them breed and evolve the predator, rinse and repeat. Silencia says, when we know what we know, we use that. When we grow and learn things, we know better, and only then can we begin to do better. Oh, this is fun. Hold on. See, Rachel says it was ethical for Sims to practice his medicine to develop gynecology as he did back in the day, which we know was not ethical now. When she said Sims, I thought she meant the video game, and I'm like, yeah, I know you freaks do weird shit with your people in that game. So, yeah, we're getting a lot of repeat thoughts said in different ways. So, yeah. Kraken says that we can help our species advance. We should do that. If we as a species stagnate and not evolve, we will pass out of existence. I think we're more likely to destroy ourselves. Whether we seek these advancements or not, we are a violent and destructive and aggressive species. And we do this to each other, we do this to other species, we do this to our environment. This is why I suggest perhaps neurodiversity is what we should embrace and look to for our growth instead of our caveman tendencies that we've built our society on. Instead of dominating, controlling, and destroying, but then again, we'll never go the gentler, more creative way because we feel threatened when we're not threatening somebody else, don't we? Ed, Andrea, any thoughts on all that?
Nope.
No. Well, no.
No, or nothing you want to say? Rachel is praising the weirdos who played Sims, killed off characters because they wanted to make a graveyard. Or, Maria adds, or because they wanted to be a rich widow. Kraken says only humans can be evil. A lion doesn't have any moral compass issues about eating the gazelle it eats. Only humans have that. Lions also don't hunt for more than they can eat at the moment.
Correct.
And yeah, so we are, as far as I know off the top of my head, unique in that aspect, as well as collecting things to excess. I'm not saying there aren't some species out there that don't collect pretty leaves or rocks or twigs or fish bones on the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, Ed? Oh, I thought you said something. Andrea, did you say something?
Thinking of like the otters that collect the rocks.
You're all going to die down here.
That's a fair point. We're pointing out animals now that, such as orcas, will not just attack seals and such that is, or sea lions that are their food, they will play with them and bat them around with their tails 30, 40 feet through the air to another one who bats them back. And, yeah, so we've got a lot of dilemmas here. And there are benefits that could come from it, whether it's a faster computer or fixing certain afflictions. And, once, because we can use this stuff to make a liver and cure a liver disease or find the source of a liver disease, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Is that viable or is that wrong?
Who's to say?
It's our show. It's ours.
Mm.
Rachel is now pointing out squirrels will kill for the fun of it. That she has an ongoing war with the local squirrels. Rest in peace to her chickens.
Squirrels got the chickens?
Is anybody else imagining the squirrels riding the chickens like mounts first and charging at each other?
I'm thinking kind of like West Side Story type thing and the two rival gangs.
Now I am imagining squirrels and chickens walking towards each other in formation and snapping their little furry fingers or wings. So maybe the chickens just tilt their head and cluck instead of snap. I don't know how that would go. And Kraken says at least the dodo might be brought back. It can use money that can do better to help protect endangered species. See, there's also the concept if a species is endangered, not through human interaction, but through their own interaction. And I think of pandas who, yes, threatened by human encroachment, but now a lot of pandas will roll over on their babies. They will go for food instead of sex. They have pretty much biologically decided their time is up. But we're like, you will fuck each other and make little baby pandas because they're adorable.
Right.
So here's a
Let it
beer and
go.
some wine and some
Oh, my
cheese.
goodness.
Start doing it. Here's Panda Pornhub.
Oh my god.
Maria says, I think the idea is fine, but I'm against the project. In all honesty, everything from a place of good has always, always, always been turned around, and people, animals, nature have suffered for it. Yeah, people love to use the splitting the atom as an example. Incredible scientific discovery and advancement that is now our biggest war threat to the planet.
Mm.
Of course, we don't know what germs they have in certain laboratories, so I could be wrong.
Mm.
Okay, we'll wrap this up. Any closing thoughts from Andrea or Ed?
Nothing that hadn't already been said. I mean, I don't see it just only being used for good. It would be used for bad. And it's another show entirely that the state of the world today and the way mankind is, if we can fix it, doesn't necessarily mean we should fix it. And like I said, another show entirely.
Andrea?
I agree. Just because we can fix it doesn't mean we should fix it.
It's a lot to think about. It's definitely a lot of discussion, and it largely is based on things out of the individual's control that goes to larger. So, what do? Let's get some outro music, and I want to thank everybody in our live chat for your thoughts, opinions, ideas, and jokes. Always a delight to have you. Let's raise a glass to advancing technology. May it either make us better or kill us quick. Don't forget to check out TravisSivart.com for more podcasts, more episodes, books, audio books, and so much more. And you can always join us in the live stream on twitch.tv/Travis Tavern Society. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.